Good morning. Good morning. Oh shit. Good morning. Right out the gate with the nonsense. I know. Oh shit. I'm leaving all of it. This is the morning we're having today. My God. Ah! Boom. All right, y'all. There's one little catastrophe after the next, but we got this. Let me make sure I got this thing charged. I'm also trying to buy a little time for y'all to wake up and join the morning messages. Wake up. It's way too early for this kind of shenanigan. I hope your morning is off to a great start. And guess what? Even if you don't feel like it is, you always have an opportunity to switch that thing around. Okay? Create your own turning point. All right, good morning, y'all. I welcome you to the morning messages. My name is Alami Bashir. I am an intuitive self-mastery coach. I teach people how to reconnect with their intuition so they can make more confident decisions in life. So that you can go forth and create the life that you desire and deserve. Because how easy is it to think about, oh, I would be happy if I were just doing what comes natural to me. Isn't that a novel thought? I'd be happy if I were just doing what comes natural to me. We don't be thinking about life like that. But trust, if you hang out in the morning messages space or visit BeGreatEveryday.com, you probably start to change your mind about some of that momentum. Every weekday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, I do this live intuitive message. They are channeled messages. I have no idea what's going to come forth. I'm not even sure what the subject matter is today. So we're going to hear it all together in real time, and it's always exciting. So let's get started. Trying to figure out how I feel about this hat today. Oh, okay. That feels good. No. Swear I'm not even trying to make this a thing. I'm just trying to see how I like it. Y'all, I do feel like all of this rigmarole is a part of our message this morning as I'm kind of fixating on how I look. And am I ready? Do I feel like I'm ready? Is the whole squad ready? I don't know. Hello, Amy. Hola, hola. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about me needing to fidget in front of the camera that actually is a part of the message this morning. Feels like an energy of like getting ready. Like, what do you have to do to get ready? I did a message around this readiness theme, I don't know, last week. I don't know what's coming through today, but I do feel like this is a spirit of readiness, getting ready. What do you need to do to get ready? Are you ready for opportunity to knock on your door? Like if someone says, hey, can you do this thing for me that you've always dreamt of? Are you ready? Or do you need more time? Or do you need to quick learn some shit? Like, are you ready for even what you asked for in life? Okay, are you ready? Is you ready? Whole squad ready. That's what's all in my head right now. Are you ready? Are you ready is the question. Are you ready? Are you ready for your blessing? Are you ready for your miracle? It's that. It's giving that. Okay? It's giving that. Are you ready? So, it's giving that. Are you ready? Are you ready? Listen, I talk to people all the time, especially in relationships. People who say they want a long-term relationship and they are literally not ready. People who say they want to be parents and they're sad that they're not able to conceive, they ain't ready either. And it's not a matter of my personal opinion. It's energetically, it's not here. So clearly it's not time. You're not ready. And that's not something that we be liking to hear. We be, yeah, that's how we talk over here. We be. It's not something we be liking to hear. That shit just rolls off. Say it with me. We be. It's not something we like to hear. Nobody likes to be told no. Okay. And even when no comes up as a matter of absence of something in your life, you know, clearly that's the universe saying no. Nobody likes that. So I say as a lifestyle hack, we all learn how to deal with no. Okay. We all learn how to develop a different relationship with no, either in setting your own boundaries or accepting somebody else's no. But I digress. Let me not get too far off topic. Okay. Readiness. Are you ready for your miracle? Are you ready for what you're asking for? Are you literally ready? Okay. If it came today, if the dream job you dream of came today, are you ready? And you might say, well, no, I need to go and do this or get that expertise or this certification or this thing. And it's like, yeah, okay. So then that tells you what you are to be focused on. Okay. So I don't know what it is you're asking for from the world, from the universe, from your higher power. I don't know what your visions, your dreams and hopes are. It does feel like that you need to start getting real centered in them. Okay. What are you wanting and are you ready? What are you wanting and are you ready? What are you wanting and are you ready? Okay. So feel free to like the video if this is a conversation you want to have. What are you wanting and are you ready for it? And those are two different questions, right? Because to want something is different than to be prepared for it. And so the question includes both. What are you wanting and are you ready for it? Okay, so I'm getting already hits on these cards as asking you to question, why aren't you ready? Okay, because it's like I'm asking you, are you ready? And now I'm hearing, why aren't you ready? So that's telling me you're not ready for what you're asking for. Okay, it doesn't mean that you can't start getting ready. It doesn't mean that you blocking it from coming in today or tomorrow. It does mean that you have some intentional self-focused work that you've got to do in order to get in alignment with it. Okay. So the first card says reproach, okay? Reproach. And this is coming from the Voices of the Souls Oracle deck, okay? And the card of reproach in this deck speaks to self-criticism. It speaks to self-judgment, okay? And for many of you, it's not about not being technically ready for the opportunity. It's like you know all the things you need to know. Okay, you've had all the training, you've lived all the experiences, you have the knowing of how to do whatever the thing is that life is going to require of you. But it's like, do you trust that you know what you know? Do you trust that you know what you know? Do you have confidence in what you know and how you do a thing? Okay. Do you put some respect on your own name? Do you honor and respect your own gifts and abilities? Okay. This card of reproach is about this need to draw back from self-criticism as a way to get ready for opportunity. It's like you can't be all ready to, judge and criticize every little thing that you do that might look, quote, wrong or might be part of your learning curve. It's like you can't go into an abundant season of new experiences and new opportunity with all of this. I want to use other language, but I'm hearing self-hate, with all of this self-hate. Okay. Self-hate. I want to say that's a far jump from self-judgment to self-hate, but there's like, no, it's a very easy skip over the river there, okay? It's like to go from judgment to hate happens just like that with one sentence, okay? And so many of you may not look at it as you're hating on yourself. Let's listen to the words. You don't look at it as you're hating on yourself when you challenge yourself to dig deeper, to go harder, to do more, to rise to a new level of success or excellence. You don't see it as self-hatred. You see it as a challenge. You see it as a willful way to motivate yourself to new heights, right? And in many ways it does, right? But it also comes with that hardship, that burden of when you judge and criticize yourself to get to new levels of success. That means that you got to do that every time to drive the horse up the hill, okay? To move yourself further down your goal path, okay? To move yourself more toward what it is that you say you want in life. That's the rhythm. It's like cracking a whip on a horse to get the horse to move. That's your motive, okay? So it's like there's other ways to get it done, okay? There's other ways to challenge yourself to rise to new occasions. There's other ways to get yourself ready than tearing yourself down as a means to get there, okay? So the card of reproach is, it's like the snakes are drawn to me. I'm drawn to the snake imagery because it's like, we know what a snake in the grass means. That's like somebody that's trying to sneak up on you and sabotage you, okay? And for many of you, that's you. You're your own snake in your own grass, okay? You're your own threat to your own success, okay? When we talk about shooting ourselves in the foot, it's like that energy. It's like, that self-criticism shoots you in the foot. You know, when you feel like you make a mistake or you could have done something different, self-criticism is not going to be the corrective action. That's not going to be the corrector. Okay. So it's a lot of energy around learning how to prepare yourself for challenge at the next level, not through self-criticism and self-judgment, but through self-care, self-love, self-talk, self-concern, self-soothing. Okay, self-respect. It's like all of these kind of self-focused energies as we're talking about preparation. It's not, this energy doesn't feel like what you don't know. It feels like the what you don't know part is not about technical information or things like that. It's like the what you don't know is how to self-regulate, how to self-soothe, how to self-care. That's what you don't know, okay? So as we're talking preparation, it seems like it's rooted in that. It's preparing yourself mentally and emotionally for new levels of challenge and new levels of opportunity, okay? And again, I know we've been talking about this, but this feels like a very kind of distinctive angle it's coming at, okay? So, yeah, that's where we are. Say hello in the chat. Thank you so much for liking the videos. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, are you ready? Is you ready? Whole squad ready. Okay, and so I got the card that says message of love, okay? And we're talking about readiness for elevation. Readiness, okay? And I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the other message because I feel like we touched and talked about this. So I don't know if this is a part 2 or if this is giving a different angle. I don't remember the other message, but I know it was related to readiness. But the card says message of love. Okay. Hello from Sacramento. Yay, from Sac. The card says message of love. And these cards in this deck, you got some light cards and dark cards. And the dark cards are really meant for the audience to give yourself your own message. So the message of love, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the words message of love? The first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. This particular deck speaks to, it's called Voices of the Soul. So it can give you a message from the perspective of your inner self, like your soul self, okay, like your innermost self. It can give you a message that speaks from your spirit guides, or what we call your spirit team, which is non-physical energies that support you, whether they're ancestors or people that you've once known, or archetypes in universal history. It's like, yeah, it's like these messages can speak from any one of these perspectives, your inner self or your outer guides. It can even speak to, as they describe it, as the entity itself, which in this case would be this theme of readiness, okay? Like if readiness were a person, what would it have to say about you about love? Okay, that's a way to couch that aspect. So there's like 3 different ways you can spill this message in. So it's, what is my soul self trying to tell me about love? What is the message my inner soul wants me to know? Okay, and you might give yourself a moment right now to see if you can extract a response. What is my soul self trying to tell me about love? Okay. And then it's like, what is my spirit team? What are my spirit guides, my ancestors? What do they want to tell me about love? And then it's like, what is readiness? This concept of readiness, being ready to elevate to next opportunity. If it had a voice, what would it want to tell me about love? Okay. So for each of us, that's going to be a different story. If I can speak to it for myself for a second, my soul self, what I hear is I love you. I hear the words I love you. And I feel like that is kind of the inner affirmation that my inner soul, my inner child needs to hear. Not because I never felt lovable as a child, but I had so many unloving things happen to me over the years that it does naturally cause one to question, am I lovable? Okay, I know I'm lovable now. But that's what I feel my soul is saying is I love you. I feel like I'm saying I love you to my inner child, my inner soul self that wanted to hear that more and wanted to experience it more from other people in my life. Okay. My spirit team, I feel this energy of the message of love. It feels more like congratulations. It feels more like celebratory. It feels more like some atta girls, like good jobs. And so I feel like that's the kind of love that I'm getting from my ancestor team. It's like, we see you. That's powerful. It's we see you. And it's like not just that they see me, it's like they see me with the light shining on me. They see me being spotlighted. They see me being elevated to new frontiers, to be able to share with more people what I know and what I've experienced. Kind of like now, it's like I'm having a meta experience around this experience. They're showing me this, okay? And it's like, that's the message I feel like I'm getting from them. And then if readiness were an entity that could actually speak to me, I feel like it's saying like my future is ready to receive me. I feel like the things that I desire are desiring me. And I don't just say that because that's a cool cliche statement. I say that because I feel like the stage is literally being set for me to do what I've come to do and to be who I am in the best way. I'm here to be that and become that. Um, so that's what's coming through for me. I welcome you to really take time to document even what you feel these messages are speaking to you from your soul self, from your spirit team, and from the entity that we're focused on now. Okay. Readiness. Is you ready? Whole squad ready. That's what you heard too, Allie. That's what's up. Okay. Alicia, greetings. All right, so let's keep it going. I like these messages. It feels good. Okay. So it's like they want me to give this analogy of cooking. Shout out to all my folks that know how to throw down in the kitchen, in the cocina. Okay. That the things I deserve me too. Oh, that's what's up. Yes, Ashe. Yeah, I be hearing that. I be hearing that, and I'm hearing that very clearly now. And I like that for us. I like that for me. I like that for you too, but I like that for us. Okay. It's such a blessed reassurance in that, knowing that you're not just doing things for nothing, and that there is opportunity that awaits, whatever that quote opportunity looks like, whatever shape or form or industry or aspect of your life. So, yeah, readiness and cooking. Even me just saying those two words, don't you immediately start drawing some parallels? If you bake something and take it out too soon, is it going to be right? It's going to have all the ingredients in it, but is it going to be cooked to perfection? Is it going to be ready for you to consume it if you take it out too early or too late. There's some divine timing in that, right? There's some too soon and there's some too late when we cooking. Too soon is raw and uncooked. Too late is burnt and inedible. So there is some timing that we understand very clearly when it comes to cooking. And we don't push up against this understanding of timing. We know what it is and we move accordingly. We may be eager to have something get done sooner because we want to eat it, right? Or we might be trying really actively to get back to the stove so that we don't let something overcook too late. We understand these principles, we honor them, we abide by them. Undoubtedly. These are the conditions of our life. This is how timing works in our life, in everyday life, not just when you're cooking. There is a certain window by which we have to, quote, seize the moment, or we may miss the moment or not be adequately prepared for the moment. Okay. So let's keep diving deeper into this. Just because you waited to the timing of the moment to go and get your pastry out of the oven, you took it out on time, doesn't mean it's going to taste great. Because the ingredients that go into the equation that produces the product matter just as well. Okay? And oh man, there's so much in this. This is so much. You ever cook some food to perfection and that shit didn't taste good? Because it wasn't well seasoned? Or you didn't have exactly all the ingredients you wanted to put in it to make it razzle dazzle the way you know it could? It's cooked to perfection. But it didn't have everything that you intended or wanted or needed to go into the equation. This is how many of you operate in your love life and in your business activities. You see a moment of opportunity and it feels like that window of opportunity is there, so you seize the moment without really taking time to take inventory of what all was in the package. What were all the conditions? What were all the aspects of the opportunity? You ever took a job without really asking all the questions of what your day-to-day life would look like? Or your day-to-day responsibilities? You were just focused on how much you were going to get paid. Okay? So there's a thing that, I don't know why they want me to say it like this. There's a thing that we're all familiar with called divine timing. Okay? We're all familiar with it, but we compartmentalize when we use it or when it's actually relevant to our lived and our day-to-day experience. Well, I'm here to assure you that divine timing is at play all the time, every day. Nobody's exempt. Just because you choose not to feel for divine timing and what your intuition is trying to get you in alignment with, just because you may opt out doesn't mean it's not still at play. It doesn't mean that there's not still a synchronicity of things still happening according to a higher order function that you're disconnected from because you worried about some other shit. You trying to figure out how you can control some shit as opposed to how to get in flow with it. So we're talking about readiness. Okay. We understand these principles very clearly when it comes to cooking. Apply it to your life. Okay. And the more instructional ways to apply these principles to your life is really to better understand how your energy is best made to flow and function in the world. Okay. Coming to understand how your energy is best made to flow and function in the world is what's going to give you the clarity about when it's time to act and when it's time to pull back. Okay. And I know this is like a unique way of looking at life. We don't look at life in terms of how we use our energy. We may talk about it in terms of what we're producing, but I mean just in terms of what feels good, what feels like flow and ease and harmony, and what don't. I mean, just baseline it there. We don't look at our life like that. What feels good, what feels harmonious and easy and aligned, and then what feels like contention and disruption and dis-ease. And it feels unsatisfying and unfulfilling. We don't make decisions based on that. That's the whole problem. That's why it's so important that we learn how to live intuitively, but I'll go back to that later. We're talking about readiness. You don't know when it's time to act and when it's time to pull back unless you know more about how people receive your energy. Okay. You just don't know and won't know. Okay. You just don't know and won't know. You won't know if it's a season of getting ready right now or is this a season of taking action. You just won't know unless you come to understand more of how your energy is received in the world. And I'm not just talking about whether or not people like you, because like has a whole lot of scales in between yes and no. Okay. It's like I like them for certain things. I like them in certain ways. There's other things I don't prefer. You know, they're good for this, but not for that. Like has a lot of qualifiers in there. Okay. We know that when we apply for jobs, we know that the other person could have the same skills as we do, but you know, they may quote like them more. Okay. They may more resonate with the person, with that organization than you do. Okay. So there's a lot here. I'm trying to like organize it. It's like I feel overwhelmed by all of these messages of readiness because there's so many different ways that we need to get ready. It's like mentally, psychologically, emotionally. It's like logistically, right? And in our 3D life, like, am I ready for this opportunity logistically? Do I have the time and the energy and attention to give this? Not just do I know how to do it or do I want to do it? It's like readiness has a lot of qualifiers to it. You know, it's like, am I ready to be vulnerable to whatever happens at the next level? You know, am I ready to jump into creative thinking and creative problem solving? Am I ready to be tested? You know, there's so many different layers of readiness. That's why I feel very overwhelmed by this message. It's like I'm overwhelmed by it, and I don't feel like it's necessarily because it's overwhelming to discern all of these things. It feels overwhelming because this is what I feel like I'm picking up. I feel like I'm having a clairsentient moment. It's like I'm picking up the angst and the fear and the worry and the overwhelm that many of you have trying to juggle so many things. I know in my own personal life, there are things that I'm absolutely juggling, but right now I feel like I'm picking up the energy of the collective, of just feeling stressed and overwhelmed about all the things you got to do and managing your time and knowing what to do first and all the things. And when we start talking about readiness, it's like, you know, readiness for things to happen for you, like readiness for your dreams to come true. There's, like I said, a lot of different layers to it. So take the theme how it most resonates for you right now, without allowing yourself to go down the rabbit hole of, yeah, I got to think about this and I got to figure out that and this, that, and the other and all the things. It's like, instead of allowing yourself to spiral in like the confusion of it all, of where to anchor yourself, it's like, focus on the theme that most relates to your greatest challenges right now. Like, where do you feel most resonance with this theme of readiness? Is it a particular aspect of your life? Is it like your work? Is it your relationships? Is it your business? Is it your finances? Like, where does this theme most connect for you right now? Okay. Not just like in general in life, literally right now. What's the first thing that's coming to you? What's coming to your mind around this theme of readiness? Yes, center around that theme of readiness, like right now. What's on your mind? What weighs you down? What's the first thing that comes to you that doesn't feel good when you think about readiness? Okay. It's like, that's what you got to center in on. That's what you've got to prepare yourself for. That's what you've got to prepare yourself on. It's like, whatever that angst is, that's where you start. Okay. Don't worry about all the other things that you know you got to do and get ready and all the things before things can really pop off for you, before you can really seize an opportunity. Don't worry about that. What's causing you the most angst right now? Okay. Focus on that. And then when you focus on that, the card says it's not me. When you center in on the thing that gives you the most angst, when you think about what you're not ready for as you bring in your grand opportunity or you prepare yourself to elevate, and I'm saying it may not be opportunities you visually can see coming in. This is like mindset shifting. This is foundational mindset shifting, is preparing a positive place of expectancy for things to happen. You may not even see the clear pathway of how your abundance is coming in, but it's, again, readiness. Readiness has inherent in it a positive expectation that something is coming, so I need to get ready. Okay? So as you think about whatever brings you the most angst around that theme, this card says it's not me. It's for you to immediately remember, you are the vessel. Whatever new thing, whether it's a partner or a position or a revenue generating opportunity like a business, it doesn't matter. Whatever your role is in this next thing that you want to bring in, so importantly, it's not really you doing the work. It's not really you. Like, we are vessels, people. It's for us to remember that we are spirit beings that occupy this physical flesh. This is not actually who we are. This is the occupant, this is the body we get to occupy so that our soul self can actually be here and engage in this dimension. It's not who we are. And the things that you're here to do, the things you know you are purposed to do, it's not coming from you either. I'm sorry to tell you, me and all this magic is not me, and I don't take credit for it, and I don't want to, because I can never be this brilliant. I can never be this powerful. I can never be this all-knowing. I can never source all this shit on my own by myself. I will never take credit for it. And I know some of you have uniquely different skills, like maybe you're a painter, or maybe you build houses, or maybe you sew clothes or do hair. You have a different gift that feels like it's more tangibly coming from you. Like, people can easily acknowledge, okay, Alami, that's not really Alami because, she's channeled, so you can't take credit for that. But I do hair, and this is me. This is me doing what I do, okay? But that's not you either. All the gifts and talents that you house and hold, those aren't yours. You just get to be the one to distribute them in this life. But it's like, how do you take credit for being a good singer? You think that you made your vocal cords be like that? Like, you take credit for that. It's like anything that we have that we do in any capacity, much less in a supernatural way or in a very excellent way, it can only come through us. It can only come through us. So, whatever anxieties you have about your future and not being prepared for it, it's for you to remember that it's not even you. You're just serving as the intermediary. You're the placeholder. You're the vessel. It's not your bright idea. It's you being willing to share this idea through your vessel. That's a different mindset. That means that the source is not you. That means that where you need to source the intelligence and the wisdom and the know-how and whatever the things are in order to be great at what you know is coming in, that don't have to come from you either. It comes through you. And this is what intuitive self-mastery is about. It's recognizing that when you move through your intuition, when you tap in to feel how things feel harmonious, when things feel harmonious, and use that as your baseline for making decisions in the world, it's like you're not going to be out of alignment. You're not going to get aligned with activities and experiences that don't help you. It is just not a thing. And that doesn't mean that you're going to like everything. Some of the things that have been most helpful to me have been the most tragic. Unfortunately, somebody divorcing me changed my life dramatically. I figured out that I wanted to become a therapist. Breaking my leg changed me dramatically. It made me start thinking about my life bigger than basketball. Losing my boyfriend suddenly dramatically changed me. It literally compelled me to study metaphysics and psychic phenomenon, and now I'm a whole full-fledged psychic. Like, the most wild things have been the greatest catapults in my life, unconsciously. Not something I set out to, or even as it was happening, was like, yes, this is how I'm gonna do this, so it's not gonna be terrible. No, it's like you spiritually grow through these challenges, and it makes you better, and it makes you more resilient. And I'm not talking about anything y'all don't know. Y'all been through y'all own bullshit. But it's just some of you all that still stay stuck in the stories as opposed to the lessons. You know, it's still the who said what, as opposed to what you can tangibly take away from that experience as like, okay, that was foul, didn't like it, didn't appreciate it, didn't have a good time. But what I now know is this. What I now understand, what I can now see, what I can now make sense of, what I now know I'll do different next time is this. Is we learn and grow from these experiences, okay? So, okay, I'm gonna stop there with this deck and move on. Y'all resonating with these messages? You resonating? Shout out to my Sacramento people. Sacktown. Shout out to Elk Grove. Shout out to Castle View Drive. Yes. All right, let us continue. We're talking about divine timing and we're talking about readiness, okay? And I feel like these cards are speaking to the challenge that we have with readiness, okay? The first card said reproach, which speaks to like self-criticism, self-judgment. That's a big reason why many of us don't feel like we're ready, okay? This card speaks to elevation. It says elevation. Okay. And the card says you are making the conscious decision to raise the, let me start again. You are making the conscious decision to raise your vibration of love. Elevation. You are making the conscious decision to raise your vibration of love. Okay. So again, you know, when we talk about self-doubt, okay, self-doubt is on that scale of low self-love, okay? Low self-confidence, low self-love. It's all right there, right neck and neck when we talk about self-doubt, right? So here's the thing. I'm not the only person that's psychic. Many of you have very supernatural gifts and abilities as well. You have a sensing to know things that you don't know how you know them, right? It's just a feeling. That's what a psychic phenomenon is. Or in one way at least. It's a sensing, it's a feeling. You don't know how you know it, but I just feel it in my bones, as they say. Okay. And some of you can feel abundance coming to you. I just got all the chills, okay? I'm one of those people. I can feel it coming in, okay? I can feel it coming in. I can feel myself wanting to kind of default to some self-sabotaging behaviors. I can feel it, okay? And one of those behaviors looks like procrastination. That's a very common self-sabotaging behavior. It's like we don't procrastinate because we don't know what to do or how to do a thing. It's because we don't want to do it. Because when we don't know how to do it, we don't call that procrastination. We say we don't know how to do it. Okay. So procrastination often comes on the back end of assignments, tasks, and things that we actually do know how to do. We just don't want to. Or it may require us to invest in more energy than we desire, so we push it away. We push it back, push it back, push it back. And sometimes what it desires of us or what it requires of us, it's not necessarily the grueling stuff. Sometimes we push away things that are actually going to call us out and bring our power out. Sometimes we push away opportunities to shine. Okay. That's how you know you're really in your self-sabotagical bag is is when you see an opportunity for elevation and then you start making up excuses or finding roundabout ways to disconnect yourself from the opportunity. Okay. I don't know if y'all relate to this. Maybe this is just me and my little twisted life sometimes, is that this is what I see myself doing. I start getting closer to it and it's like, oh, nope, let me reroute. Let me do something else. Let me switch gears. Let me pause this, slow this momentum down because I feel like I'm getting closer to what I want. Okay. Full transparency moments. Okay. And I know I'm not alone. I know that. That's why I can share these things, is because I know that I'm not the only person that experiences these things. I know that for a fact. I know that I'm not the only one that has a fear of success. Okay. And that's what that starts to translate at, is the fear of success. Okay. Is that when we start getting closer to a next level, it's like we sense it, we know it, and it's like, oh shit, it's happening. How can I stop or slow this momentum? Because I don't exactly feel prepared, or I don't exactly feel worthy, or I'm doubting my ability to be able to sustain whatever the momentum is it brings. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know how it relates to you, but I know how these things relate to me. Okay. And I do honestly believe that we all, in our own quiet ways, have these silent ways in which we try to sabotage ourselves from time to time. And I say silent ways because we're not trying to do it and we're not always mindfully aware that we're doing it. But it's like these kind of quiet, silent ways in which we try to slow down the momentum of success in our lives. Okay. So let's continue to explore readiness. Take this theme and run with it in terms of your own exploration of what does it mean to you and how do you feel about your readiness to receive a next level opportunity. Are you ready? Okay. And if not, what do you need to do to get ready? Okay. And that to-do list might be far and wide, covering the span of a lot of different areas of your life, from managing your time to managing your money and your resources to your friendships and relationships. It could relate to your health and your fitness. Like all of these things, at the epicenter is you. So if one thing changes in your life, then probably multiple things are going to change. And are you ready for this change? Okay. All right. Card says, take a risk. And I got another one in my lap. Take a risk. Okay. So I feel like this is kind of foreshadowing, is that readiness includes doing mindset prep work around risk taking. Okay. So, I know, listen, I like to be comfortable. I do. I like for all the conditions in my life to be perfectly suited for me. That is just, these are guidelines I live by. I do. And so, and I say that because not everybody is so self-centered. Okay. Not everyone is so self-centered. And sometimes when you're someone that is committed to creating the conditions in your life that you prefer, that means that you, one, are maybe setting some boundaries. You're probably telling some people no. Okay. You're probably reprioritizing, people, places, and things in your life. And there is a risk in doing that, there is a risk in doing that. When you have to say to somebody, hey, I can't go do, or I'm going to choose not to do X, Y, and Z with you because I need to do X, Y, and Z for me. And that might be a relationship that you're trying to massage, one you're trying to keep cool, one you're trying to grow. It probably is a networking opportunity by maintaining said relationship. And you want to honor the commitment to them, but in practicing saying no to them and saying yes to yourself, you do risk what you would call, okay, the connection. And I say that like that because anyone who loves you and cares about you and is truly invested in your well-being will not reject your desire to take care of yourself. And that won't be criteria for them to not be in your company or stay in community in intimate ways. That won't be a deterrent for somebody who really has your back. Okay. But, this energy of taking a risk is very often this inability to take risk, or what you all perceive as a risk, that risk that maybe they won't like me, or maybe they won't accept me, or maybe I won't get another opportunity, or maybe this, all of the negative what ifs that kick in when you start thinking about boundary setting. Because that's the reason why many of you don't set boundaries, is because you don't know what to do with the guilt or the feelings of shame or anxiety about what someone else is going to think about all the things. Okay, so this inability to take risk. Okay, this feels like a foreshadowing. Like, as you elevate, you're going to have to take more risks. You're going to be outside of your comfort zone and maybe have to lean into certain decisions that are going to be judgment calls. Okay, it's not going to be like real clear evidence of what's the clear answer, the clear pathway. It's going to be a judgment call. And so, like, the readiness now before you even get to the next level is like practicing taking risk, leaning into the discomfort that you feel when you feel like you're stepping out of your comfort zone. Okay. Like, there's so many aspects of readiness. Taking risk is an important part of it. Okay. Because when you start talking about, leaning into unfamiliar and uncharted territory, you don't know what the fuck life is going to bring forth to you. Even if it's the greatest shit ever, it's still going to be outside of your comfort zone. As they say, a fish out of water, right? It's like you still are going to have to make some adjustments on the fly to self-regulate so that you can keep up with the momentum of the things that are coming your way. Okay. I don't know what is coming our way, kids, but I feel like it's good shit. Okay. I feel like it's good shit, and I feel like it's, when I say good shit, it's stuff that you want to happen. It's stuff that you've been asking for. It's opportunity you've been asking for. It's community you've been asking for. It's money you've been asking for. It's like it's giving hopes and dreams fulfilled. Okay, it's like it's giving some big shit on your bucket list coming in. Okay, so and it feels like it's coming in the form of what I want to call opportunity. So meeting a new partner, a lover could be an opportunity, but this feels more like friendship. It feels more like I want to say like friendship or business partnership, like French. It feels like friendship or business partnership. It feels like opportunity. So I don't know if you have a friend that's going to offer you a gig, or if you're going into partnership with a friend, but it feels like something aligned like that, like joining forces to I don't know. I want to say to spotlight something. Okay. So, Lord. Yeah. This feels like something coming in. Okay. This is like was it Two of Wands energy? It's like your ship's coming in. But you gotta get more comfortable with risk taking, stepping outside of your norm, doing something in a different way than what you normally would do it. Getting more comfortable with being uncomfortable. Okay. All right. Next card says stay in integrity. I need some lip gloss. My lips feel a little dry. Stay in integrity. Okay. Stay in integrity. We're talking about readiness. Okay. So, I've heard this. I won't say that I've had to deal with what's on my lips? Yeah, I won't say that I've had to deal with I don't know that I've had elevation in my life that has challenged my value system or challenged who I am in the world. I don't know that I've had that kind of windfall momentum come into my life where like whirlwind change and like I can't keep up with it. I don't know that I've had that personally in the way that I've seen it come into other people's lives. It's like, for instance, when someone goes viral and then all of a sudden they're getting a lot of public attention and a lot of inquiries and a lot of, people interested and fascinated by who they are, what they do. Um, I've never had that experience, but this message gives that kind of vibe. It's like, this is like, get ready for um, what I want to describe is like to grow in popularity, like to have more people want your attention, or want whatever you do, or be interested in what you got going on. And this could be, this I feel this on all kind of spectrums. I feel like on the very public, public platform, like, global stage. And then I feel like this, relates to those of you who are maybe homebodies, maybe you work remote. I feel like somebody's going to ask you to, partner with them on something. And it's like a new opportunity that you are thrown in the seat of, and like, it's off to the races. So it's like, it's not about, am I on social media famous or not? It's not about that. It's about somebody taking more eyes, taking notice to who you are or what you do and showing interest. And it feels like, again, it's more career, professional, business in nature. Okay. It feels like it's more in the lines of that. But this card says stay in integrity. And that's why I feel like this card is here, is because I feel like this is whatever this opportunity, whatever this new energy that's coming in, it feels like, it feels like whirlwind. Okay. It feels like coming in just like that, like it comes in fast. And it feels like a need to stay not just grounded, but in integrity. So not just, okay, I'm staying level-headed, but it's like staying authentic to who you are, okay, which is a next level of integrity. It's like, yes, be who you are when nobody's watching, but be who you are when they are watching, okay? Be always who you are. Be authentic. Be integrous. And it's like, so when I say it's like a foreshadowing message, it's like checking yourself on it now, keeping it real with yourself now. It's catching yourself in the act when you start feeling uncomfortable and want to people please to pacify a moment. No, stay in integrity. Do what you feel is right and what works best for you or in that moment. Don't allow yourself to be swayed by others' opinions or others' judgment. Like, these are habits that you start now. Okay. You don't wait for the opportunity to come in and then you start trying to navigate your people pleasing. Okay. It's like you got to start navigating that now, so that when you're going to get tested, when you know the test is coming, there's going to be a challenge that comes in that rocks your boat a little bit. And then you got to decide who you're going to be. Am I going to pacify this moment, or am I going to stay integrous to who I am or what I feel is right or best for this situation or occasion? Okay. So this feels like some messages maybe some of you want to watch back. I feel personally like I resonate with these messages very heavily, which is always interesting. But I feel like some of you don't see enough of the dots connecting to see what's coming in. So there may be a message that You can't, you can listen to it, but you can't really hold space for integrating it into your life because you like, I don't see nothing about to change in my life, so this is probably not for me. No, it is, okay? It is. If you are within earshot, these are collective messages. And if you notice, these messages don't go out to everybody on the planet. It'd be a select few that hear these messages. Maybe a couple hundred people, or maybe be 15 people that hear the message, but it's for you, okay? It is for you. So this is about preparing for increase, preparing for elevation. And what I want to say is activation. It's like ready, set, go, you know, and then that go goes fast. So this is like a lot of the grounding, self-nurturing, self-care work, self-management work that you want to start doing now before anything changes in your life so that you have the habits in place when it does. It's like they say, don't dress for the job you have, you dress for the job you want. So it's like you start putting forth the habits, the practices, the behaviors that you know you'll need at the next level now, okay? That's what readiness looks like. Holla if you hear me. Thank you for liking the video. Anybody that didn't get a chance to, take a moment, please, and like the video. Thank you. All right. It's free 99 to like the video. Like the video. Let's go. All right, final deck of the day. Final deck of the day. Final deck gives us 3 cards. Jesus. All right, let's get through this as we're talking about readiness, okay? And these are pretty direct messages. This is the Moonology deck, okay? And the card says communication is key. And look at that, it's a new moon in Gemini. I love that. Communication is key. And it is. Those of you, as we're talking about what skills you need to build before opportunity pops, it's like if you are not a natural orator, and I say this to everybody just cause. If you're not a confident public speaker, you should probably consider taking a class, a workshop, a camp. Like, public speaking is so key and critical. I don't care who you are, what you do, and how you do it. It is so key and critical to connecting, building trust, building confidence in someone. Like it's so important on so many levels to be comfortable as a speaker. So I know they had Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a speaking club that anybody can join. They have them all over the country, all over the world, actually. And they're little meetup groups where people practice their public speaking. I highly encourage you all to master this gift, okay? Because your ability to communicate with others is literally what can make or break you. Doesn't matter what you know if you can't communicate it. It doesn't matter what your experiences have been if you can't translate it into relatable experiences that others can connect to. It's like, if you don't know how to speak, it's really a challenge. So part of your readiness for the next level is working on your speaking skills. And not just your speaking skills. Let me be very clear, your communication skills. And communication works 2 ways. It's not just you talking, it's learning to be a good listener as well, okay? It's really learning to be a good listener. We should have listening classes in school because most of us don't know how to listen. We're filtering through what we want to hear. We're holding space for what we want to say, and we're not listening to what is actually being communicated. So communication is a very important life skill. If you don't already have this mastered or to some degree of competence, you probably want to work on it. And it's not just about, public speaking to do presentations. This is like learning how to say no. This is like learning how to be assertive in conversations where there may be a little conflict. This is about how to encourage someone and get them to, be motivated to take action in a way that you prefer. This is like, communication is so dynamic. There's a depth and breadth of it that goes beyond just talking, okay? So I pray you do have that experience of windfall. I've had a hard time putting myself out there, though I teach public speaking. I love being at home. You probably have some hermit energy in your human design chart. Do you know your human design? Maybe I will join Toastmasters, though I don't practice as much as I teach it. Yeah. And even, social media is a great place to play, right? And we see that every day, all day. You see me doing it also, is just showing up is half the battle. And then as you show up and start speaking literally to find your voice, I don't have to tell you these things. You already know how this works. Use social media. Or hell, just use your own cell phone. You don't even have to post what you do, but just practice doing it. Okay. Other prep work, as we're talking about readiness, the card says, don't let pride get in your way. Okay. So, Allie, don't let pride get in your way, girl. If you need to go do the Toastmasters, it doesn't matter. Do what you need to do for you to prepare. Okay. Don't let pride get in your way. And so, when we talk about preparation, it can be very humbling. Okay. It can be very humbling. Um, there's things that even I want to bring forth in the world that I know I can't fully bring forth yet because I'm not adequately prepared, because I need to go dial it back and actually go look at some of the basics of a thing that I know I'm here to master. So it can be very humbling. And sometimes in that readiness, you have to be prepared by people that you think are unqualified or underqualified. They're either unqualified or underqualified, and they're training you. But you have a judgment against them because of, whatever your experience, and you're like, you don't really want to learn or receive from them. So it's a real humbling experience, especially as a mature. I'm near 50 years old, and I'm having to learn things from my 20-year-old daughter about like really integral parts of my brand and business. I'm having to like really humble myself to really let her take the lead and to listen to what she has to say and follow her judgment and guidance so that I can be prepared to take my shit to the next level. Like, it's literally happening in real time for me. So don't let pride get in your way. Don't let your ego attitude stop you from getting the information or having the experiences that you know you need to have in order to elevate into a next season of your life. I was just talking with somebody yesterday, and I'll leave it nameless, but it's someone who has a pretty reputable brand, has founded a company, has a pretty reputable brand, and sells a product that they're not quite familiar with. They were talking to me about the product, and I know their product better than them. And it was a little bit humbling for them, I'm sure, because it's what they do, it's what they sell all day, every day. But I'm a user of it, so I'm like, hey, your product, do you know that your product can do this, 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 and this? And, do you know what your product does? And like, I'm going through all these angles that they are not that familiar with. And I know that was a very humbling experience for them. I know it was. And they're not the only person. Sometimes that's what it takes for us to kind of reset and kind of recalibrate to ascend. It's like a chin check. We need a chin check sometimes. It's like, hold on. Your skirt's showing, your slip is showing, as they say, old school. Your slip is showing. Like, you got some self-correction that you need to take care of so that you can actually move forward in the way that you know that you want to and can. Okay. So let's keep going. Last card of the day. It says, you and your loved ones are safe. Okay. You and your loved ones are safe. So as we're talking about readiness and what feels like a divine timing conversation, you and your loved ones are safe. So, so much of our own readiness is tied to other people, and not just, those of you who have children and a partner. That's the obvious, right? Your decisions matter in the context of their life. But sometimes it's like, and we see this all the time here, having expatriated here, people who want to move here, like, yeah, but I'd want to do it, but I just don't want to be that far away from my mom, my family, or my mom, or, I'm just not sure, being that far away, if they need me, can I get back soon enough? If I'm not there to do the things that, need to get done, then their needs won't get met. Um, the flip of that is worrying, trying to make things happen because you fear someone is gonna fall into some deficit if you're not there to make the things go. So it's like this is a reminder that part of our readiness is not just the logistical nature of can we execute a thing. Part of our readiness is drawing peace and closure to some of the things that might become a conflict of interest to it. Some of that readiness, as an example. So maybe, your career is about to change, and you're ascending to a position that gives you more, power or position or money or whatever it is. Maybe you now make more money than your partner. It's like part of the readiness now, as much as we may not want to have to focus on some of these things, part of the readiness for your expansion is also getting your community ready for it. It's getting the people around you ready for it. Okay. So that, this energy of you and your loved ones are safe. It's like you don't have to fret and worry about things falling apart because your life changes or some change comes into the household or the family. It's like you don't have to worry about there being like some negative backlash around that. Everything is going to work out fine. But there is some readiness. It's like the difference between, if you're going to move out of the country with your kid, don't you think your kid would probably appreciate a conversation around that before, they know the flight is booked and they're moving? Okay. So it's like there's some courtesy, smoothing, massaging, introducing, educating. There's some fundamental need to do some of that work for some of you, for all of you actually, but it's in different ways. Okay. It might be just generally informing, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and things are going to change, and so that's what's happening. It might be more integrative, where it's like, hey, I want you to come and experience this thing because this is a thing that's going to change our lives, and everything's going to change. And it's like, that kind of thing. I remember when I moved to Texas, I was convinced that I was going to be moving, but I was also clear that I was going to be moving my children, so they needed to go before we made the final commitment to stay permanently. That was very important to me because I not only wanted their quote buy-in, I wanted them to be able to make a smooth transition for themselves mentally and emotionally. Like, okay, we're doing this, but now we're going to do this. And I got time to mentally prepare for that. And I know what that's going to look like. So, sometimes it's just like informing people and giving them a more front row seat of what the change will be so that when it actually does happen, it doesn't, serve as a shock or awe or create more angst in your dynamic due to their lack of preparation or readiness. Okay. So, wait, was that the last one? Yes, it was. That was the last one. You and your loved ones are safe. The last thing I want to say about that particular card in terms of readiness is as if you feel like you got haters around you, okay, and maybe some of this is coming from the inside of the family. It's not just strangers or people who are on the periphery. Maybe you're getting some backlash or some negative feedback from people around you about some of your ideas or some of your hopes or dreams or something like that. It's like, don't worry about that. I have a client who she has tremendous psychic superpowers, and she comes from a very religious background and a very religious mother with very orthodox traditions who, she's terrified to really introduce that part of herself, or used to be really terrified to really introduce that part of herself to her mother. And it was all, again, out of fear that, she was going to get rejected or be ostracized or, in some way be villainized around this ability. And I'll be honest with you, there's still some of that has taken place, but I feel like little by little, as she's opened up herself more authentically to that experience, what she's doing is she's slowly creating a space of acceptance for herself. And while it may not be perfect instantly right now, the product, the end result will be there, but it just takes a little massaging, okay, and a willingness to be your authentic self. So card says you and your loved ones are safe. Any of you who are worried about making moves that may be make someone else feel really uncomfortable, I feel like it's going to work out for you. I feel like, it may feel like initially it's a real burden and a hardship and a real problem, but it's like just give it a little bit of time. Like people need time to transition, okay? So, yeah, feels like good vibes. Yep, feels like good vibes. All right. So, oh, you're a generator. I'm a generator something. Are you a, a manifesting generator or a true generator? And have you had a reading before? I'd be curious to know who in Sacramento is doing readings. Anyone doing readings in Sacramento, particularly people of color? And if you haven't had a human design reading, if you're interested to get one or just learn more about human design in general, I want to remind everybody about our Nutshell program, Human Design in a Nutshell. It's a 4-day workshop series. They're 90 minutes each, except that Sunday. They're about 90 minutes each. And over the course of 4 days, you will learn how to better understand your body graph and what that actually means to be a generator type. What that actually means in terms of your daily habits, lifestyle practices that are more energetically aligned with you and your natural flow. On that, excuse me, on that Friday, the Friday the 28th, we're going to be covering kind of all things overview of human design. Because even people who have heard of human design still don't quite know like what it is, how it works, like what's really the foundation of it. Where did it come from? And how can it relate to me? Like people kind of generally get that, a little bit of it, but they don't really understand the magnitude of this tool. On Saturday, March 1st, right after that, is when we're going to actually teach you how to decode your body graph. So if you've never pulled your body graph, as long as you have your birth date, time, and location, we can direct you to an app that allow you to pull it for free. There's no cost to be able to pull your body graph. You can look at it for free. And we're going to teach you how to decode it, how to make sense of it. Okay. So that is Saturday the 1st. Sunday the 2nd, we're going to talk about how to live by your strategy and authority. So like how to actually apply human design into your everyday life, your routines, like how to actually use it to make a difference in how how you feel and how you move in the world, and how you assert yourself or not. Learning human design will teach you how to make better decisions. It'll teach you how to preserve your energy so that you're not mismanaging yourself and doing a bunch of shit that doesn't matter, forcing yourself to fit in situations that don't work. It's like human design will help you learn how to create better conditions for you to actually be successful in life. That's the odd thing about human design. So we're going to be covering all of those things again. And then on Monday is a specific focus on entrepreneurs and those of you who want to learn how, and not just entrepreneurs, but people who are in leadership positions in business. This is a good fit for, because it really shows you how to use human design to make more money, okay? To make yourself more desirable to your audience. To allow yourself to show up really authentically in your brand with a mission and a vision that feels authentic as well. It's not just about making money and turning a profit, which is important, but it also is about doing something that is purposeful and that feels like it is coming from an authentic place for you. Learning human design for your business is also hugely important for those of you who market on social media. Those of you who market a business at all, especially if it's a personal brand, you really want to learn your human design. Even if it's not a personal brand and it's a nonprofit organization or a larger for-profit organization, it pays for even organizations to understand their human design, especially because they are likely to work in teams. And human design teaches you how to work, not just to be better functioning within yourself, but how to work better with the people around you, which is my selling point for why I encourage. I'm a big fan of the individual readings. You get both me and Vic in a one-on-one reading. That is always going to be a vibe because you're getting undivided attention, okay? So I don't dissuade people from booking the one-on-one, but quite honestly, I encourage both a one-on-one and the group because they're different experiences. So you get that one-on-one attention in a one-on-one reading, which is great, but in a group, Now you get to learn more about the other design types as well as learning about yourself. And so it's like if you have kids, if you got a partner, if you want a partner, you want to learn how the other design types operate as well so that you know how you are best a match to different people. So, yeah, I definitely, girl, come on. It's going to be a live workshop, okay? Alicia, is it going to be recorded? So it is going to be recorded, but it's not going to be available for the audience that attends, okay? It's going to be a purchase recording if you want to purchase the recording. These are live workshops, so we do invite you to show up live and in real time. By the way, the pricing on the workshops is such that they're $99 each, or you can take all four for only $197. And so it's specifically organized that way because we want to encourage and entice and incentivize you guys to take the series so that you can learn all the different aspects, not just your body graph, which you can do. You know, if your budget's tight and you can only do one, do day 2. Okay, do part 2, which is understanding your unique body graph. Okay, if you can only do one. But if you've got the extra cash to be able to invest in the series, and again, it's only $197, which is a steal. You're basically getting 2 for free. So, and again, that's on purpose. We want to get the information in your hands so that you can start to use it to change your life, quite literally, okay? Outside of that, by the way, if you want to learn how to, if you want to know how to sign up for the event on the 28th, against February 28th to March 3rd, if you want to learn how to sign up for that and more details of the event, go to begreateveryday.com/events. begreateveryday.com/events. It'll take you right there to that page. But feel free to check out the program link as well, which will show you all of our offerings. And you choose for yourself which fit you think is best for you at this stage. But I'm telling you, even my one-on-one clients, I'm inviting into the series because in that one session, when you do your reading the first time, it's always powerful, it's always impactful, but it's a lot of information all at one time. So, so to kind of like slow walk it over 4 days, and again, it's not all day, they're just 90-minute sessions. But to slowly digest it over a few days, we want to see how you respond to that, okay? If you came and got a one-on-one, we know you got an action-packed reading, but now to allow it to seep in a little bit more, hear some of the things that you heard before, but now make sense of it differently because you have a broader understanding of how human design works and how you are made, and all the buzzwords don't intimidate you anymore. It all makes sense, okay? So again, it's begreateveryday.com/events if you want to join us, okay? For those of you who follow me on Instagram, if you would be so kind as to send me a message and say that you're ready, I'll send you a promo code to be able to save 15% off of the event. So follow me on Instagram. It's at Alami Bashir. The details are in my bio here. It's at Alami Bashir. Yeah. If you go to the channel description, it'll show you all of my other web links and all of my other social handles, okay? All right, I think I'm done. Leisha, I would love to see you. I was thinking about you earlier. I was gonna message you earlier, like, I don't know if Tia let her know, but I want you to know you got a welcome invitation to join us, okay? And Tia has a promo code, I know, so, you know, I would love to see you. And any of you others, again, that are just curious to learn more about yourself. Again, you're not learning the science of human design, although we'll teach you some of that. You really are learning how to make more sense of what it means to you. More like, what does it mean? Okay. It's like any of you who are counselors or coaches or anything like that, it's like if you've ever taken a self-assessment, you know, True Colors or the Myers-Briggs, Strong Interest Inventory, it's like nobody really cares how they came to come up with the questions of the assessment. I just want to know, what does it mean to me? Like, how can I use this information to change something in my life? Like, tell me that part. So that is how that's how we're treating these workshops. It's more experiential. It's more for you to come to an understanding than it is for you to learn the actual science of human design. We're not going into the mandala. We're not deconstructing astrology. We're not doing all of that. But if you have your birth date, time, and location, you can pull a body graph and we're going to show you what that thing means, what it says about you specifically, and your lifestyle habits and practices, and how to modify some things, like tweak things. Some of you have figured out certain things that already work for you intuitively. So to be able to see your body graph and see it on paper to know like why it works for you is the game changer. I'm so excited for the workshops. I snuck in the AM. Eek! Ah! I love that. I love that you joined for the messages, Jay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So that's all I got for now, kids. Again, go to begreateveryday.com/events. Okay, begreateveryday.com. We'll get you there. Okay, and again, it's February 28th to March 3rd. I hope to see y'all there. But in the meantime, know we do these morning messages, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, every Monday through Friday. So I will be back tomorrow. I hope you will too. And you know, the name of the channel is called Be Great Every Day. And some of you know the backstory about that, but even without knowing the backstory, it's really just me realizing that I have the power to choose how I experience my days, no matter what has happened in it. No matter who said what or did what, or no matter what didn't go my way that particular day, I still have the power to choose whether or not I have a great day, no matter what. So that's why this channel has its namesake, to be great every day. It's not about feeling great. It's not about life being perfect, but it is about choosing your own reality and choosing whether or not you give things the permission to disrupt your day. So I'll always remind you at the end of these calls that life does not have to be perfect in order for you to be great every day. It just doesn't. It's all a matter of how you define your greatness, and it's a matter of your choice making to choose it. So if you don't want anybody to disrupt your peace, give your power away, I behoove you to choose to have a great day, to choose it, no matter what. All right? I love y'all. Peace.